Mikey Wright caught this wave during the break pots.
Yeah, you know, Mikey kind of looked a little bit out of sorts in his round, his opening round, the seeding round, and then again, just doesn't really look like he's connecting at the moment.
Deal with a lot of lower back pain.
And you mentioned that a bit on the Gold Coast as well, as we go into action with J.Mendes. Mendes just quickly up and down, getting a score on the board. Mikey Wright 3.0, Hazelwood 1.5. Maybe what probably hurt most was buckling your magic board right before you got out for finals day. Picking this one back up is Mendes up and out, as he's still trying to get warmed up. Yeah, so what hurt more? Just buckling the tail of that Takoro, or your back that you were trying to work out?
I didn't even notice until I was paddling out for my heat. I was waxing out my board, and then I flipped it around, and then I seen the tail crack, and I had a buckle too. So
heartbreaking as a surfer when you got a magic board for your debut. Still counting that quarterfinal. Reef Hazelwood blows the tail out the back. And for a backsider here at Winky Pop, I mean, he pushed his board further out the back on that one, Potts.
Yeah, that was an incredible last maneuver right there. That section down the line, you can see right here, first turn, kind of just more of a check turn to wait for this thing to stand up. Now he starts to get the speed. Now watch the tail. Look how high out the back that tail goes. That was an incredible maneuver there, very acrobatic from Reef. Flicks the tail out the back, gets full fins out, surfing.
Mikey Wright will keep this one alive. Flowing through those sections off the top, really waiting for something to open up for him. Now hard off the bottom and just tags it shut. So Mikey Wright had a 3.0 before that. Luke Egan was noticing how he's standing a little more upright, and he had a couple of awkward falls, as he's famous for going 110%. This guy doesn't like to surf safe. As we take a look at this wave, Potts, what happened here?
Yeah, well, just, you know, nice little opening there, kind of looking like he's loosening up a little bit, but you can tell with this last maneuver, kind of jams it back, waiting for it to stand up, and then right there, he normally just really belts those last sections. There was kind of more of a little flick to finish off, so not a bad little wave.
He's coming out here strong. I know Reef is excited to put on a performance in this heat, and I had him in my heat and at Snapper.
Yeah, pretty cool. Reef ended up with an equal 9th after losing to you on the Gold Coast. Hazelwood attacking. Foam climb to hack. What a transition that was for Hazelwood.
Yeah, he gets that board right beyond 12 o'clock, doesn't he? It's nice and straight up and down surfing there from Reef, and that's the beauty of being on your backhand out here, Joe. A lot harder to do that on your front side. You know, the body doesn't rotate as nice. Let's have a look here. A lot of energy too. You can see him keeping that board moving rail to rail, keeping those fins engaged. Up and over the top there, and then watch how vertical he gets the board. Bang! It's like literally 12 o'clock, and it's going to be another good little score for Reef. 417, so he's going to back that up. There's that board vertical. He sort of connects and then sort of flicks the tail around as well. There's a lot more going into that. When you watch that in normal time, you kind of miss a little bit of it, don't you? So kind of good to be able to slow that down and check it out.
Really cool to check out how upside down he was on that vertical hack. There's been a lot of great things happening for Reef Hazelwood.
Turning point for me to try and gain that confidence, and I kind of put my mark out here, so getting that quarters is a big confidence for me.
Special start for Seth as he's watching this one with us. J.Mendes, last year's Triple Crown champ, getting down the line. Big backside re-entry with that little tail drift to finish off. Mendes looking sharp on the backhand here at Winky Pop today.
You know what, if you get one in the early stages of the year, things can only get better for you. Let's have a look at Jesse here on his backhand. Had an opportunity to watch him the other day down the coast. Went for a little sneaky surf, and him and Tatiana were surfing a left, which I was quite surprised by. You know, you come to Bells and you kind of want to fine-tune your backhand, but he was looking sharp on the left. So I was wondering, how's that going to equate into his heat?
Very interesting. We know Goofy Foots can't help themselves. They just want to go left any chance they get.
Yep.
I'm looking at chopes. I want to do good there. Hopefully you get some big barrels over there. Probably chopes, and Snapper was one event that I really look forward to too, because, you know, iconic wave, but ours Reef.
That old saying of, you know, you got to peak at the finals. Well, these guys have kind of got a peak here today. It is definitely an important heat to get through. Reef looking sharp. couple of fours in his score line. He needs to break through that.
Reef Hazelwood still enjoying our time with Seth Moniz, watching Mikey Wright pick up bigger wave now. Good timing as he hits it vertically. Clean read off that whitewater section. He'll jam the foam climb to finish.
Put something solid on the board. Mikey Wright still, to me, looking a little gingery on his maneuvers. Kind of just taking it easy though. This wave, maybe the size helping him out. But just, yeah, just sort of almost pulling back a little bit. This is more like 50% of Mikey Wright, but sometimes that's good enough to win heats. You just got to be on the right wave.
Breaking down his type of surfing off the top. We always see him trying to throw the fins out the back, and he often likes to put his arms behind his back for that big frontside carve. I think the advantage for him on this wave was just picking something with a bit more size, Seth. That looked pretty nice to watch.
Yeah, kind of just going with the motion right there. Just got a big set wave, 3 nice turns off the back. Mikey's a really exciting surfer to watch because I feel like he's like a type of guy I kind of look at to try to surf like too. Just kind of pick apart of what he does, kind of attacks it.
Together on that effort, as we see Mendes. Not much to work with there at the 20-minute mark. Hazelwood leading the pace. Mikey Wright needing a 4.74 for the lead. And Mendes trying to get out of that third spot, Potts. Perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
That
What
is
did he say
awesome.
straight away? Was it, yeah, no worries, or was it, let me think about it?
Yeah, he was honestly, like, I was surprised with this answer. He was just like, he said he was so honored and he'd be so stoked for me to represent his number.
Special story, number 7. Now to Seth Moniz as we watch J.Mendes. Clipping one off that first section. Nice quick vertical to get down the line. Mikey Wright picking off that set wave really helped his cause to a 7.0. Hazelwood dropped to second. So Mendes down to third, needing a 4.88 to move back into advancement.
When you really, that sense of urgency seems to pick up and you really try too hard, things can go against you. But let's have a look at Jesse's wave here. A couple of nice little backside cracks and finishing vertical. So Jesse just trying to crank it up down in that third spot.
To Jadson, to Kyle, to Leo. The only one repeating a second round appearance is Kyle Belly coming up next, along with Owen Wright, who survived though. But he didn't get a 33rd at the start. This is Hazelwood just whipping through some big sections. Rewind the tape. What'd you think, Seth?
Yeah, Reef's looking sharp right now. You just look at this, just attacks a lip every time he gets a chance.
It's cool to see that extension on the climb, Potts, for a scoring maneuver. How do you like it?
Well, it's a good finishing maneuver. I mean, a difficult thing to do to be able to ride up and over the whitewater and literally turn off it. I mean, that was right there, the money shot of the wave for sure. 4.57, I think, is long gone. And right there, I mean, it's just those little things for me that you know, maybe the naked eye can't see.
Yeah, he's looking spicy. He just needs an open face, really, and he'll let loose.
Here comes another opportunity for Mikey Wright. Just trying to catch up to this racetrack at Winky Pop. Had to put his foot down and get out in front for just a moment. Still late. He'll end up going down. Now Mendes, big vertical. He slips off.
Wow, you can't really afford to make those mistakes. You heard Solly talk about it's quite slow. You're not going to get a lot of good opportunities.
To see if Reef Hazelwood could create more upsets in a short period of time. Had his air camp where he hosted a lot of grommets up on the Sunshine Coast to learn to do airs just like Reef. Big blast again. He's got the fin drift on lock. Fitting in the finish, but he'll go down in transition.
6.7 on that last wave for Reef. Finds himself up in the lead.
Here comes Mikey. Famous for the most radical haircut on tour. That might be changing now. There's some pretty fresh haircuts now.
There is.
From Toledo to Pedersen. John even.
What about Kanoa?
Yeah, for him to take me and kind of take me out there on my first day ever out of Jaws was pretty special. I'll remember that day forever.
Also Dorian, former champ of Bells Beach, as we look at Mendes. Looking quick. A couple of nice verticals there. Paulo loved that one. 6:40 to go, Potts.
5.91, Joe. That's what's required right now from the young Brazilian. We might have an afternoon glass off here, which kind of sometimes happens down this part of the world. Let's have a look. A lot cleaner on the face, so Jesse was able to really hook into these turns. series of nice maneuvers, keeping it smooth. And there's that finishing turn. So start strong, finish strong, join the dots nicely in between, and you're generally going to get a good score. Nice little connection right there. Interesting how he sort of touches the deck of his board with his hand quite a lot. Comes out of his maneuvers and almost just gives him that reassurance right there. See that hand on the board again? So he does that quite often. I didn't really realize that up until just then.
Hand on deck. That's a classic technique for a lot of surfers, especially with backhand snaps, to stay nice and low and compact.
Me and Sully were just kind of scrapping with 4s, 4-5s. And yeah, I came in and he had this little meshed up ball like foil, and he's like, it's my stress ball right here.
3 minutes on the clock. Mikey Wright is dropped down to second. Hazelwood out front. Just flowing down the line on this one. As you can see him just flow through the whitewater. Finds a section just to pop the fins out. Will lay back and recover.
Well, the question is that better than a 4? Because if it is, then it's going to increase the score Jesse's required. Time's ticking away though, 2 minutes 40 remaining. Going to go the first one. Yep, there we go. Sold him on it. Now there's one behind.
30 seconds on the clock. The heat leader, the wild card, Hazelwood, snaps through the whitewater, frames it vertical. Section coming down again.
Nice.
And he stays on his feet. Whitewater well. Mendes finally getting some room to move. Clean start on the open face. Set up card. Section already approaching. He'll tag it.
But this one right here, you know, it's close. There's kind of one good first crack right here, but kind of just went soft right here. Unfortunately, that wave wasn't really, had that power in it.
Wow.
Mikey will pick this one up down the line with 3 seconds to go. And throw down a couple of carves and then just finally finish in the whitewater. So a few waves for the judges to digest to make the decision here, Potts.
Yeah, I'm just looking back at Jesse's last ride. The 5.75 I think was better than his last ride. So, you know, in saying that, he doesn't need 5.68 is what's required by Jesse, so it doesn't have to be as good as a 5.75.
So we'll go to Mikey. Will this affect his scoreline at all?
Let's see.
Just reviewing that last wave for Mikey Wright. Got this right before the buzzer.
Nah, I don't think that'll improve his 4-4.
Hazelwood out the back. Remember, started off the exchange with a 5.97. Last to Mikey Wright. Will now come in at a 4.5. So right at the end of the heat, Mikey Wright saves himself again. And J.Mendes receives a 33rd. Seth Moniz, thanks so much for coming in. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys. Pleasure.
We'll do this again. Back for more action at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach right after this.